We don't yet know exactly what these three objects were, but nothing right now suggests they were related to China's spy balloon program or that they were surveillance vehicles from any other country. The intelligence community's current assessment is that these three objects were most likely balloons tied to private companies, recreation or research institutions studying weather or conducting other scientific research.
Joe Biden finally breaking his silence on the numerous objects shot down in or near sensitive U.S. airspace. And today he admitted, despite wanting a week to shoot down the Chinese spy balloon that traversed the continental U.S. collecting intelligence, he immediately shot down these other objects, which he claims are nothing more than privately owned weather balloons. So then why shoot them down? None of it makes sense. And these are all valid questions for reporters to ask. But unfortunately, the White House refuses to give them a chance to ask. In fact, Viral Today News Africa reporter Simon Ateba was blocked from entering the room for Biden's remarks today, claiming the White House called the Secret Service on him for no clear reason, despite allowing virtually everyone else inside. Simon Ateba joins me now. Simon, I'm so sorry this happened to you. It's just another day in the Biden White House, unfortunately. And I want to post a picture from inside the briefing today. Reportedly, there were at least 23 open seats in that room, yet you weren't allowed in. Tell us what happened today.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me, Jen, and thank you for doing a great job. Thank you for everyone at Newsmax TV for continuing to do a great job despite the appalling censorship by DirecTV. Today was really a sad day for press, free press freedom, a sad day for free speech, and a sad day for the USA. The president didn't schedule his speech today. And so around 2 p.m., just a few minutes before we were to have the press briefing with Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre, we were informed that we needed to request credentials for the president's speech at 2 p.m. And I did, and the White House didn't get back to me. When the press briefing ended, we were asked to gather and go for the press briefing. I follow everybody. And when I got there, everyone who was in front of me, almost 50 people, they were allowed in, and I wasn't allowed in. And they called the Secret Service, and they told the Secret Service, keep him here, he must stay here. And the Secret Service told me, the agent told me, sir, we want you to stay there. He was really sad.
I mean, that just doesn't sound, unfortunately, like something that should be happening in the United States of America. But unfortunately, that's kind of the case with this administration and the access that certain members of the press are getting with them. What's the conversation like between you and some of your other colleagues? I saw that Daily Caller's Diana Glebova perhaps also asked to leave as well. It must be so frustrating for everybody.
Yeah, even Diana was asked to leave. Stephen Nelson of the New York Post was also asked to leave. The Secret Service wasn't called on them, but he was asked to leave. He was already inside. And he pointed out that there are at least 23 free empty seats in the room, and he should be allowed to stay. I believe he was escorted outside, and then he was allowed to come back.
Wow. And, this was, for the people that missed it earlier today, Joe really had it out with the reporters. He answered 0 questions from the press, but then this is what happened. Watch.
There's been criticism that you're trying to compromise by your family's business relationships. Sir, Mr. President, there has been criticism.
Give me a break, man.
Did you overreact?
Mr. President, there's been criticism that this was an overreaction that was done because of political pressure.
You can come to my office and ask a question when you have more polite people with you.
Mr. President, why have you chosen Poland for your trip to mark anniversary of the war? And what's your message? What?
And nobody's going to be going to his office to get any one-on-one time for questions. I mean, he just gets angry when reporters ask him anything.
Yeah,
what do you make of this?
Yeah, and he's talking about, that they should be polite. That's what he said. And it's a shame because for more than 2 years, the president has never come to the press briefing room to brief us. And people are frustrated. People who are in the briefing room, people realize that President Trump, even though he had that difficult relationship with the media, there was more access during during his term. And I used to go to the
Right.
White House. I used to attend events when
Simon,
President Trump was there. And that access
we got to
is-
wrap, but I've told you before, being in the Trump White House, you know, that room was packed. Some of us even standing in the aisles because Trump wanted anybody and everybody that was part of the press to be in there. Unfortunately, not the same with this administration, but we'll keep following your situation in the White House briefing room. Simon Ateba, thank you so much for taking time tonight. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.